I hope, yes, I'm live. Hey, I hope you guys are doing okay. Welcome, welcome, welcome to today's embroidery happy hour. I hope you guys can see and hear me okay. Hope everybody is doing good. And yep, I see people in the chat. Let me make my screen real big here. Okay, because I am using my iMac today. And I hope the lighting's okay. Um, And I'm sorry, guys. I know I'm a mess. I know I'm a mess, but you guys know how I roll, okay? I have been really, really like super busy, and then I figured, you know what? Let's talk about this today, okay? Let's talk about the ugly truth. Let's talk about this because a lot of people like to talk about the good, they always do. They always like to say everything's so rosy and all that kind of stuff. Well, no, it's not rosy sometimes, okay? So I kind of wanted to do this video because this is the thing. I've been doing this as a side hustle now for a couple of years now. And this is something that, you know, I'm kind of used to it because, I'm like always on the run and stuff. And it's a lot that you got to do. But the thing is, for someone that is starting out, I think today's embroidery happy hour would be really, really good, especially if you are really new to embroidery. It's something that you're really interested in, and you're like, oh, I want to turn this into a side hustle, and you know, and all this great stuff, which it is great. Okay. Don't get me wrong. But the thing is, I want to put some honesty out there for folks. Okay. Because you guys really need to know, um, what to anticipate if you decide that you want to get into this kind of thing as a side hustle. Okay. Now, I am going to tell you right now, no matter what it is that you do in life, okay, you're going to have to work hard, okay? But the thing is, job, and you got your full time job. When you are doing a side hustle, and especially one in the embroidery business, it can really quickly turn into two full-time jobs, not one, two, okay? And it is not an easy thing to do, okay? And I am telling you, there's a lot of things that I want you guys to think about. And for those of you guys that are also on the same journey as I am, where you are doing an embroidery as a side business, please chime in and in the chat put down what are the challenges that you see, okay, that you come across, and what is it that you kind of sometimes wish that someone had actually took the time to let you know about. Okay, now let's get to it. First thing, okay, when you are going to establish an embroidery business on the side, one thing that is you got to know right off the bat is that you're not going to be successful overnight. Okay, this is not one of those journeys where you wake up, you get a machine, you turn that sucker on, and you start doing some embroidery and everything, and then all of a sudden you're the next millionaire next door the very next day, kind of thing. Okay, everything takes time. Okay, I mean, if you want to be instant, get a lotto ticket, and hopefully you get it. Okay, so it's not, it's going to take time. It is something that you're going to have to practice at. It's something that you really have to learn. It's a skill set that you've got to build. And before you even start putting products out that door, you better know what you are doing, because your reputation can really go downhill once you know you have products out there that are not meeting the mark. Okay, so that is something that is really, really honest, and I cannot stress it enough. I hear people tell me all the time, they're like, Jeanette, I'm not making any sales, or Jeanette, this isn't moving fast enough for me. I'm gonna tell you something, it didn't move overnight for me either. Okay, I mean, yeah, am I doing okay now? Yes, I am. I consider what I have going on successful. Did it take me a little while to launch it to the level that I'm at today? Absolutely, yes, it did. Okay, it took me about a whole good year for me to really finalize everything and really have it down pat. I don't want to say to a science, because it is a repeatable process, but it's a learning process, and there are things that you have to change along the way. So, something that, really off the bat, if you are looking for something that is going to overnight fill your pockets with some cash and stuff like that, this is not it. Okay. If anything, it's going to deplete your pocket in the beginning because you're going to have to invest in it, especially in the embroidery business. You're going to have to invest in machines, threads, stabilizers, needles, different types of hoops, tools. You're gonna be investing. So the first like year or two that I was running my business, we did not make money, okay? Because all if I did make some money, the money that I made was being reinvested into the business so that I could purchase another machine or so I could purchase more hoops or more materials and supplies. So, it's going to take time. So if you're looking for this to be an overnighter thing, it's not going to happen. I'm telling you right now, it really truly is not. There is a lot of things that you have to sit back and really like take your time and learn, okay? So that is the first thing, and that is like totally honest. I'm just being totally honest with you, okay? It is really going to take time. Now, this is the thing also. It takes time if you choose that this is going to be a full-time job. But if you are working full-time, okay, like I do, I have to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I have to be at the office by 5. I'm out of the office by like 3. I don't get home till like 4:30, 5 o'clock, and then I am running these machines. So could you just imagine? I don't have so much time because I do have to sleep, right? So when you are doing this as a side hustle, okay, and not as a full-time job, then you have less time, okay? The time that you have to invest in learning and producing products and really sharpening up your skills is going to take longer. That also means that your weekends, guess what? There is no weekends for you because on the weekends you are working and on the holidays you are working. Any extra time that you have, you're working, okay? And that's the other thing too that a lot of people don't tell you, okay? You really have to be dedicated into this business. This is not something that you can say, hey, I just want to do this, and then all of a sudden you just stop for like 2 or 3 months and then say, I'm going to go right back on the bandwagon. It's not this. It is a continuous process. It's a continuous business. Okay. That is one thing that I really, truly learned about it. You don't get sick days, you don't get vacation days because when you shut down, your profits shut down. Okay. You're not making any money, you're not making any sales and stuff like that. So you really have to think about that. So, if you think about it, if this is your full-time job, and then all of a sudden you decide, I'm going to take vacation for 2 weeks, well, that's 2 weeks that you're not making any money. Okay. So if this is a part-time job, even though I do make money on my full-time job, you know what I'm saying? I still do depend on this income over here because this is what I use in order to help my son with school and any other expenses that he has. So, it's like he's dependent on this and I don't want to let him down. So believe me, I do not take any sick days or anything like that. So if you're sick, like if I'm sick or I'm whatever, no, I gotta find a way. I am on the machine. I put a mask on and I am embroidering, sewing, packaging, or doing something. Okay. The other thing that people do not tell you is that you are doing this all the time. There is no rest. I think I'm kind of in a way repeating myself, but because you're doing this all the time, if you're big on having like a personal life, okay, if you're big in like, going out with friends and hanging out and all that kind of stuff, I'm going to tell you something right now that is going to change for you. Okay. It is very difficult for me to get some downtime to go hang out with friends. Now, a lot of times my friends do kind of put their foot down, okay, and they say, no, we're going out to dinner, or no, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. But a lot of times it's kind of like with them really pushing me. Okay. Now I'm not saying don't do it, but what I am saying is just know that that's something that is going to be part of it. Okay. You're going to find out that extra time that you had before to really hang out with family and hang out with friends and do certain things, You're going to have to start putting that aside because you're going to have to focus on the business. Okay. Running a business, a lot of times people think that's a really glorified thing. I mean, they like think, oh, you own a business. Wow. Like that's a big thing. Meanwhile, I'm thinking to myself, you know what? I work more owning a business than if I work for someone else. Because when you work for someone else, you clock in and out, right? You just clock in, you do what you're supposed to get, what you're getting paid to do, you do it, and then you clock out and you go home. You don't even think about the job. The business owner is thinking about it while they're sleeping, while they're eating, all day long. That's all they think about. That's all they focus on because they have to make sure that it continues to grow and it continues to be profitable. So that is a lot of pressure. So especially think about it. There is a lot of pressure for someone who is running a business on a full-time basis. You can only imagine how it is if you are working full-time and then you're running a side embroidery business on the side. Okay. That means that when you are, when I'm traveling to work, I'm not really thinking about work. I'm thinking about, okay, I got all these orders that I have to finish tonight, and I have to come up with these designs and stuff. And I'm on the bus with a little schedule, and I'm over here just like, writing, what I'm going to do, what I have to do, and all that kind of stuff and everything. So it's like, it is really, really, really difficult. I mean, it is, your time really diminishes. It really, really, truly does. Okay. So, the really the ugly thing to me is your time is so limited. Nobody tells you from the very beginning that you're not going to be successful, and it's not that you're not going to be successful, that you're not going to be successful right away. And to me, sometimes also think about this: when you're not successful right away, what ends up happening? People quit, right? So to me, I look at it as, why are you quitting? Did you not want this enough? Right? And you already invested all this money, you invested all this time and all this effort and everything like that. That is when you really have to, to me, the very beginning is when it really does try you. Okay. So it's like you really have to get all your senses together. You really have to be strong. You really got to be focused. You got to be determined. You need that positive energy around you. So if you have people around you with that negative energy, you need to push them aside and you need to really focus on what it is that you want, because it's not going to happen overnight. It will happen though. It will. You just have to keep at it. You can't give up. So that to me is like the biggest thing from the very beginning that people really need to realize, is that this is not something that happens overnight. You really have to build that skill set. You really have to learn. It is expensive, even in the very beginning, and it can be very trying, and it's going to get you to a point where sometimes you may want to quit. Okay. There are even times to this day, okay, where I sometimes am exhausted, come home, and then I go to my shop and I have all these local orders and all these online orders, and I'm just like, oh, but instead I just take a deep breath and I put everything in order and I work on everything one thing at a time, and I just get them done. You don't complain about it. You do what you got to do. I just look at it as it's a blessing, okay? Because now the business has taken off. Now a lot of people are interested in the items that I offer. So now it's time for me to just deliver, okay? Just shut up, deliver. You can do it. And I always even tell myself mentally, God, you're good. You're doing really good. You're doing awesome. You're going to be fine, okay? So, you got to make sure that you stay focused and know right off the bat that it's not an overnighter thing, but it can happen. It just takes time. A lot of times people don't tell you that. They just want to show you, hey, you can do this, you can sell it. Oh, you'll make money right away. It doesn't happen like that. There's a lot of advertising that goes into it, a lot of marketing. You really got to put yourself out there. Nobody's going to know that you exist unless you come alive and you let people know locally of what you are doing. And, you really have so much work to do before you get to the point where you can like really say, okay, this is working now, so you really have to think about that. But also know that it's very fast paced. Okay, once those orders come in, okay, this is the third thing. So I already talked to you about it doesn't happen overnight. It's not going to. Okay, I don't care what anybody says. All right, I know from my experience, it sure didn't happen overnight. Okay, your personal life gone. Okay, I mean, and let me tell you, I even tell my girlfriends and stuff, hey, if I actually take time out to meet you at a restaurant for dinner, or I say, okay, I'm shutting down the machines, let me meet you at a winery or something like that, I only do it for people I truly love and care for. I will only do it for them, okay? Because they are worth shutting down those machines. They are worth spending time with them, okay? Trust me. That's the only people that I will do it for, okay? So, personal life, it's really going to change, okay? Because you're only there's only so many hours per day, and you already have a commitment on your full-time job for so many hours, and now you're going to have so many hours for your side hustle. And yeah, you got to sleep. You have to sleep, okay? Nobody can live without sleep. It's impossible. So you're going to have to calculate that in there, okay? And now the third thing, fast pace. If you are lazy, this is not for you. Okay? If you are lazy and you are one of those that can't keep up with certain things and all that, this may not be for you. Maybe what you want to do is you want to do embroidery, but maybe you should do it for friends and family and stuff like that. Now, I don't mean to sound so harsh, okay? But the thing is, I'm just gonna be flat out honest, okay? When you got orders to do, you got to deliver them, and you have to deliver them on time, okay? And good quality work. So not only do you have to know that you have to produce, but it better be top notch. But it better deliver. You better deliver it when you're supposed to deliver it, okay? The worst thing you can do is tell a customer that you're going to have something and you're not going to have it. Don't do that. If anything, overestimate and then deliver. Like an example of that, I mean, is if I have something, right? Like right now, I'm working on a project on a little dog. This is a logo that I'm working on for a customer. Okay, this is taking me a while. It's not perfect yet. I'm still working with Fossil on it. This is the last stitch that I did. Just want to show you because I'm pretty happy with it. Okay, this is how it came out. Okay, this is a dog. Um, and I'm pretty happy with it. But I want to talk to the customer a little bit because I want to make sure they're content with the way it came out. This came from a piece of artwork that they had. So yeah, I'm pretty impressed. Anyway, so let's get back to this. All right, so you got to make sure you deliver. I told her that I would be working on this, and she would have a stitch test, another test stitch, uh, test stitch out. I'm getting tongue tied from me and Fossil this weekend. I delivered, got it done just now. Literally got it done just now. Okay, sent her a photo. Hopefully she'll look at it, she'll like it. If we need to make modifications, we'll make modifications and stuff. I already got the shirts that she wants these things on. So if she likes it, I'll move forward. But you know, if you have a customer and they come on, they say they need something, come on and tell them what size did I use for is yes, that's the dog needlepoint. Yes. What do you call it? I used a 7511 actually for the whole thing. A 7511 40 weight thread for that whole design. Okay, this is not I did not have to use 65 9 needle, and I didn't have to use a 60 weight thread. Yeah, but okay, so let me get back to this. Okay, needlepoint, you're distracting me. Okay, sorry, I'm joking with you. So so the thing is, if you have an order, right, and somebody comes out and says, hey, here's an order, I'll have it to you in a week. You can tell them that you'll have it to them in a week, and then if you want, deliver it earlier. That makes you look better, okay? Don't tell a customer that I can have it to you in 2 hours and then, oh God, I couldn't get to it. Oh God, I'll get to you tomorrow. Oh, I'm sorry. Can I have it to you this weekend? Don't do that. Don't do that. That is one way to really mess up your shop, okay? Because then what's going to happen is the customer's not going to trust you and they're not going to believe that you're going to deliver when you're going to say that to deliver. Remember, just like you gave them a deadline, sometimes these customers have deadlines of their own, okay? And they're trying to work to make sure that they meet their deadlines. I'll give you an example. I had a customer that had polo shirts, right? And the polo shirts was for a golf event. All right. So when they approached me with the polo shirts, they said, this is for an event we have coming in 2 weeks. I took that order and I told them, fine, I'll have it to you in a week. I actually gave it to them in 4 days. The thing is, because I knew that there was a specific event that they were depending on those shirts for, absolutely, I'm going to make sure it's a priority and I'm going to make sure that I meet that date, because if I don't have those shirts ready, they don't have shirts for their event. Believe me, customers will remember that if you mess them over, okay? So make sure that that you have a, you can work in that pace, okay? And when you're working full time and then you come home and you have large bulk orders, like I sometimes have, okay? You got to really manage your time. And this is the thing that I want you guys to also think about. When I get these bulk orders from the local vendors around me, a lot of times I'm not just working on those bulk orders, I'm also working on online orders. And online orders are very unpredictable because what ends up happening is you just get a little ching ching notification that somebody purchased something, right? So there's no real planning there, okay? However, you can do the type of planning by doing the processing time. So, in other words, if I come on and I say, "Hey, I have this listing," and then I could say it takes about 4 days to process. That means that from the moment that they place that order, I have about 4 days to ship that item out. Mostly, what I usually do is I usually do ship the next day. Okay, the most I think I've ever taken is 2 days to ship an item, unless it's because I don't have the blank in stock and I have to wait a little bit. But I usually like to just, as soon as the order comes in, I don't wait around, it gets made, and then I just ship it out the next day. But because I have that online store and then I also have my local orders, I have to make sure that I can balance both. And balancing both when you are working full time, very tricky. Very, very tricky. Okay. There's a reason why I had to invest in more machines, because remember, once your machine is occupied on an order, it can't work on another order. So that's why for me, the 3 machines really works out really well. Okay. So it's something that you really have to think about. You got to be fast paced. You don't have time to be lazy. So if you're one of those that you're like, nope, I like having a day off every week, or nope, I just want to work like once a month or something like that, just understand that you're going to get what you put into it, right? So if you're only working on it a little bit, unless you got a hit item, you may not get as many sales, right? But if you are hustling, working, chances are it's going to catch on. And before you know it, you're going to be hustling and, you're going to be working it, and it's going to do really well. Now, this is the thing though. You will get tired. I am telling you from experience, you will get tired. There have been times when I have been nothing but exhausted, okay, where I have gone to work, and thank God that people know me on the bus and they wake me up to tell me when my stop is here, so I can get off and go into the building where I work or come home, all right? Or I don't know where the hell I end up. But you are going to be exhausted. So make sure that you take care of your health, because you're going to need as much energy as you possibly can get. especially when, you got to get up in the morning and go to your full-time job, and then you have to come home, and then you have to also work. It is hard. It is not easy. And that is the one thing too that a lot of people don't talk about. They always say, "Oh, you just do this and it's all glory." No, it's not all glory. It is hard work, okay? You are always, always working. There is no break. Even if the embroidery machines are not on, guess what you're doing? You're looking at new designs to see what you can incorporate in your shop. You're looking to see at your inventory to see what you are low in so that you can go and purchase it. So you're really going to have to, really think about that. If you're new to embroidery and this is something that you want to do, I just want to be brutally honest with you, okay? The rewards are there. Don't get me wrong. The rewards are there, okay? Especially with local orders. I mean, people love to get embroidery. So, the rewards are there, but just be prepared for the work because you will work. Trust me. And not, especially when you do local orders, not all orders are going to be the same. Okay, we're talking about customization, and that's I think the whole reason why I find that running an embroidery business as a side hustle can be pretty difficult because of the customization work. A lot of times, no two jobs are alike. Okay, one customer is going to come with you with one order, and then another customer is going to come with you with an entirely different order. Sometimes you have to get items digitized, and there's going to be different pricing. That's why you have to be sharp on how you price your items. You got to make sure that you're pricing them accordingly so that you are not losing money. Because trust me, the last thing you want to do is to be working, 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 working. And, even though you love what you do, you're working, but then you're not seeing the profit at the end. Because then it's like, okay, what are you doing this for then? You know what I'm saying? So you want to make sure that you truly, you know, think about all these things before you start jumping in. Okay, just be aware of them. I'm not, like I said, I'm not saying this to discourage anyone, but I am telling you this because I really want you guys to really give it some thought and know that when you jump in, you're going to run into some of these rocks. You're going to end up noticing some of these things, and just be aware of them so that way when you do come up against them, you're going to be okay, because you're going to be like, okay, yeah, I know I'm going to go through these kind of challenges, and you know what? I got this. I'm going to be fine. I'm going to make it. I'm going to make whatever adjustments I have, and it's going to be all right. So just be aware of all that. Now, the other thing too that I wanted to tell you guys about is self motivation. That is truly a must. A lot of times when you decide to do something on your own, like run your own little side hustle as an embroidery business and stuff like that, you might end up bumping into a lot of people that really don't understand what you're doing and why. Okay, we all have our own reasons as to why we do this. Okay, some of it is for people to be self-sufficient, fulfilling, right? Because they love what they do. The other reason is that sometimes people do need the extra money. Okay, everyone has their own personal reason. Okay, but the bottom line to me is that this is something that you want. It doesn't matter why you want it, but you want it, and that's what's important. What is equally important too, okay, and I'm really, I don't mean to sound harsh or anything like that. You really have to take a time to look around those that are around you, okay? And I guess what I'm trying to say is you need the support. You need people around you that are going to be supportive, okay? It may not be their dream, but this is your dream. And you want people around you that respect that. When you have that, you get some kind of strength that it's like you can conquer the world. And you really need that. So you need to make sure that you have the people around you that truly support you. And even if you don't have that, let's say you don't have that, okay? Then what you can do is you can do it for yourself. So it's something that, I say it's self-motivating yourself. Okay. There are I guess I never share this. I don't think I did share this with you guys, but there have been times when I catch the bus to go to work, and sometimes I need that lift, right? So they do have like self motivating um you know videos that you can listen to and stuff like that. And sometimes when I'm on the bus, I do that. And I do that because I need to remind myself that I can do this, that I have to believe in me, that I can't let negative energy mess up the vibe that I'm trying to develop for myself. You know, it gives you the strength to even like meet your challenges on a daily basis. So don't, please self motivate yourself. Okay. If this is what you want, if this is something you truly, truly, truly desire, okay. And I'm just letting you know as a friend, seriously, believe in yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay. And if you do have that negativity around you, block it out. Just block it out. Let it be their negativity. Let them own it. You don't have to take it on. You don't have to own it. It doesn't, their view doesn't have to become your reality. You got this. You're gonna do it. You're gonna be fine. Okay. You're gonna take it step by step. You're going to, and you will succeed. You're gonna make mistakes. Who the heck doesn't make mistakes? I make mistakes. I make lots of mistakes. Okay. I made lots of mistakes when I was doing this job. Okay. And but I mean, look at this. This is one time that I did it and I made some mistakes that I had to make some modifications. Then I did it again. Okay. And this had to make modifications. I actually put a Sharpie to this one. Okay. And then this is my third time. Okay. So, don't think that it has to be the first time for you to get something right. Okay. A lot of times what happens is people think, oh, you know, I messed up, so now I'm no good. I can't get it. I'm never gonna get it. I don't have what it takes. No, that's not true. Okay, it takes time. All right, you're gonna have to practice, and you keep practicing, and you keep practicing. Okay, you run out of thread. Guess what? Go buy more thread. Run out of stabilizer, you get more stabilizer, you get more bobbins, and you practice and you practice and you practice and you practice. You will eventually get your skill set to a certain level where you can then go out the door and say, I'm ready to hit the market now. Okay. The thing is that a lot of times people will, say, oh, I'm ready, and then get out that door. And then next thing you know, they're not ready. Okay. Their stuff is not really crisp and clean. You really have to have your embroidery sharp. That comes with skills. Okay. And that takes time. And this is the other thing too. When you are embroidering, okay, and you have something and you're not sure how it came out, okay, be careful who you ask for an opinion. All right. Sometimes we go to our friends and our family, right? Because we think that our friends and our family are going to be honest. They love you. Okay. They adore you. They don't want to tell you that it looks like crap. They're not going to say that. Okay. I mean, like I can probably embroider something that doesn't even look like anything, put it on a shirt, and I know my husband will wear that and wear it with a smile. Okay. Meanwhile, he knows in his heart, and I know that was not done right. Okay. Be careful who you ask. All right. And it's not that they don't love you, and it's not that they don't want to see you, um, you know, not succeed. The thing is, they don't want to hurt you. Okay. So if you have an honest friend, okay, someone that's blunt, all right, someone that when you're hanging out with and you got a booger hanging out of your nose, and they're going to come out and go, oh, you got a booger. Go get your thing. That's the one. That's the friend that you want to go up to and say, what do you think of this? That's the one. The one that you go shopping with, have a funky dress on, and they say, oh, hell no, that don't look good on you. That's the one. That's the one you want to talk to and ask, how does this embroidery look? Okay. The reason why is because your family is going to love you and they're going to love anything you do. So I'm telling you, you look for those honest friends and hold on to them. And those are the ones that you ask. Okay. Don't go after, your family and all that kind of stuff, the ones that are real close to you and everything. They don't want to hurt your feelings. Okay. And you need someone to hurt your feelings. You need someone to tell you the truth because you don't want something to come out of your shop and then it looks like crap. Okay. So, if you got a friend out there that'll tell you about the booger that you got hanging out of your nose, that's the one that you got to go hang out with. Okay. So, yeah. So, the other thing, though, I want to tell you right now is that you have to create a process. Okay. You have to create a really good, a good tight schedule and a process for you. You're as time goes, right? And let's say you built this that times that skill set and you are ready to sell and everything like that. Now it's time for you to look at how you're going to do this. Okay. Look at how you are going to build that process. How are what is your checklist going to be? I'm going to walk in, I'm going to pull my orders out, I'm going to organize them in some kind of way. I'm going to set up my machines a certain kind of way. I'm going to fill my orders. This is the process. I'm going to make them all. Then I'm going to do this. Then I'm going to package them up. I'm going to take them to the post office, whatever. Okay. And this is the other thing too. Here I'm just mentioning embroidery, and I'm talking about the products and all that stuff that you're creating. Okay. You're running a side business. That means you're running a legit business. Okay. You got to have your license. You got to make sure you have your tax ID and all that kind of stuff. There is paperwork to be done. Okay. On this. All right. It is not easy. It's time consuming. So think about it. You're not really, you're thinking, oh, it's an embroidery business. So all I'm going to be doing is filling orders. No, that's not true. You're not going to be just filling orders. You're going to be working on invoices. You're going to be closing out invoices. You're going to be, I'm in QuickBooks all the time. I mean, my sister will tell you, I get on her nerves because she's really good at the QuickBooks thing. So she helps me with my QuickBooks sometimes. It's like I'm on that thing all the time. I have to run my numbers. I have to track all my expenses. I have to make sure that I have a copy of all my receipts. There is just so much involved. Okay. So while those machines are running in the background, sometimes I'm in there, I'm in QuickBooks, and I'm doing all the administrative side of running a business. There is a lot of research that goes into running a business, also. Okay. You got to know who you're going to be purchasing your items from. Okay. There are a lot of vendors out there. And sometimes just because someone uses a vendor doesn't mean that that's the vendor you should be using. Everyone's needs are different. Everybody gets a different price. Okay. That person could be buying 1,000. Maybe you only need a box of 10. You don't know. Okay. So the thing is, look at what everybody else is using. Okay, use that as a starting point, but then you have to do your own analysis to see what is the best vendor that's going to provide you the best quality product with the best prices. Okay, it's not the same for everybody. Okay, it's kind of like very similar, like when somebody asks me, hey, what should I charge for this embroidery? I can't tell you that. I may not live in the same state that you live in. I probably didn't pay the same amount for my thread that you paid or for your stabilizers that I paid. There's just so many different factors that go into it. So, you have to think about all these things, okay? Think about how you're going to run that business. Are you going to dedicate a certain time lot for your administrative work? Are you going to, how are you going to what vendors are you going to work with? How are you going to purchase your items? How are you going to get bulk items? Hey, Mello, how you doing? Are you going to be buying bulk items? And if you buy bulk items, where are you going to store them? And how are you going to store them? Right, Mello? Oh, my goodness. Okay, so, there's a lot. Look at his tail. He's a happy dog. Yes, I see you, Mello. You want to say hi? You want to say hi to people? Or I can't move it because I have faith. There you go. You want to say hi? There you go. There, that pretty eyes. Okay. So, you have to make sure that you create a process on how it is that you're going to run that embroidery business. Okay. The other thing, too, is when you make that decision and you created a process and you got your schedule, okay, make sure you're dedicated. You have to be dedicated. If you're not dedicated, you're not going to go. You're not going to do well. I'm telling you, you're not going to do well. The dedication, the motivation, the being focused, the desire, the passion, it's got to be there. I mean, I have a girlfriend that it's like every week she's starting a new business. She's doing this, then she's doing that, and then she wants to do this, then she wants to do that. She buys all this equipment, give it a month. Now she's tired of it because she said it doesn't work for her. And then she goes and she does something else, and then she gets that equipment, doesn't work for her, and then she does something else. The motivation's not there. Honestly, I don't think she's got the motivation. I think she wants to do something, but she just haven't found her passion. She's still looking, okay? But the thing is, it's like you have to be motivated. You have the dedication has to be there. If you're not dedicated, you're not going to go far, okay? And when I mean dedicated, also, I'm also talking about being dedicated when things are bad, being dedicated when you have no sales, being dedicated when you feel like this is not working. Okay. That is when the dedication really needs to kick in, because that is not, that dedication is what's going to help you not quit. Okay. You got to remember too, even when you look at, when you read about famous entrepreneurs, right? They all had their moments, their downtime, they all had their doubts. They had moments when their businesses may have failed or was going to fail. Somebody had to believe in them, right? So they had to believe in themselves, and they had to keep fighting, and they had to be dedicated, and they couldn't quit. Okay. So when you think about the big ones like Elon Musk or Steve Jobs or Ford's, read up about them, and you would end up learning that a lot of them, they had troubled times. They had some really difficult times. And what was really funny too is that when I saw that some of these companies were having a really difficult time, you have no idea how many people were lining up to see the failure. Okay. For some reason, it's like I feel like people love to see other people fail, and they get mad when people succeed. So be conscientious of that also. Okay. When you become successful, you may end up having some haters. Okay. But don't focus on them. Focus on you. Focus on what you're doing, what you want to do, what you want to accomplish, and just keep going forward. Okay. People that do that kind of stuff, trust me, is that's their thing. Okay. Don't let their thing become your thing. Okay. But you need to focus on it. All right. And that is the other thing too. You may end up having some people that, aren't very supportive. Don't worry about it. You got to focus on you and just your dream. That's all you have to do. Um, the thing also is, when you are running the business, because your time is so tight, you do have to find ways to make sure that you manage your time in the best efficient way. Okay. You have to make sure that when you are purchasing things, you're doing it efficiently. And you know what to buy in bulk and what not to buy in bulk. I'll give you an example of that. Like my thread. I do not buy my thread in bulk. I buy them as needed. Okay. There are certain colors that I don't use that much. And then there are some colors that I use a lot of. So I am very, conscientious of how I purchase my thread. Stabilizer. I do buy stabilizers in bulk, okay, because there are, especially the ones that I know that I use all the time, like tearaway stabilizer and cutaway stabilizer. I do buy those in bulk. There are some stabilizers that I do not buy in bulk, like the no-show mesh. I don't buy that in bulk. Sometimes the sheets I don't buy in bulk as well, because I usually like to buy the roll. Okay. And then what I do is I take the roll and then I turn them into sheets. because I find that it's more economical that way. Now it is more time consuming, but what I do is, as my machines are running and I am filling orders, what I do is I take the stabilizer, and while I am, working, I will just take the time to cut them up, and you can find ways, right? So you got to make sure that you find ways to make things life a little easier for you. Okay. The other thing too is, as you are working on orders, you will eventually find the niche on how to process your orders faster. Okay. Like for instance, some people do it. I think they call it like factory style, where they will just set up all their machines, embroider everything. Then after they embroider everything, they take away all their stabilizer, then they iron all their stuff, they package all their stuff at one time and stuff. I kind of flip flop between those that method and doing one by one, because it depends on what I am working on and how many orders I have. So sometimes if I do have a whole lot of online orders, then I will do the factory style process. But if not, then sometimes I will just do the orders one by one, especially like the local I always do one by one unless I have a big bulk order. Okay, then I will always have, I just have a process where I just keep going, and it's like a little factory that I got going in here. Okay, so you will eventually know how to do your stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna come in time. Okay, and that's something that really nobody can teach you. It's really something that you're gonna come out on your own, and you'll figure it out, right? Because you'll be like, oh, when I was doing this, I could have been doing that and stuff like that. And then, you'll eventually get it. And then you'll find a battle rhythm that's going to work for you. Okay. Also, one of the things people really don't tell you, and if you are embroidering and you don't know this as of yet, or you're new, you're going to learn this real quick. Custom embroidery, okay, is very time consuming, which is why a lot of people sometimes shy away from it. Okay, it's time consuming because you have to deal with the customer. Okay, you really have to gather requirements and really have a true understanding of what they want. And then also, not all orders are exactly the same. So everything is going to be, you're going to start everything from scratch. Okay, from gathering requirements to setting up the machine and pricing the order and filling the order. It is not like repetitious at all. The only time that you really have repetitious embroidery is if you're just selling things that you make that really are not personalized or customized at all. That is really simple to make because you already know the thread you're going to use and how you're going to make it, and it's just make it, package it up, and ship it out. But when it comes to custom embroidery, whole different ball game. Okay, I mean, the dogs that I showed you, this is custom. Okay, this is custom for a customer. Um, as you can see, this is my third stitch out, okay, of this logo. Very time consuming, and that's not even talking about the time that I had to work with Fossil in order to try to modify that design a little bit more so that it can, be more perfect for the customer. Custom embroidery, very time consuming. So you got to make sure that you price accordingly for that. And you also have to make sure that you schedule accordingly for that as well, because that takes a long time. Regular embroidery, like if you just sell a shirt with a certain saying or something like that, that's much easier to do because they just say, I want a shirt, and you just take it and you pop it in. Once you throw customization in there, that can that's a whole different ball game. Okay, even if it's just a name, it's a whole different ball game. Okay, because then you got to modify the file with the name, then you got to put it into the machine, and it's a whole thing. It's all, and this is the thing, none of it you can make in advance. Okay, when you do custom embroidery, that is not stuff that you can have in stock. Okay, now I do have certain things that I have in my shop, like some of my kitchen towels that I do carry in stock. I will tell you, I embroider those things in bulk. Okay, what I will do is, especially those that I know are my top sellers, and I will tell it's kind of hard because it's like I had some of my towels and I had embroidered like 10, okay, of my popular designs. They're all gone, all of them. So this weekend, I'm going to be having all 3 machines going so that I can create more towels again because Mother's Day is coming and everybody's getting the towels for Mother's Day and stuff. So it is it's a lot. Okay. The other thing too that people don't talk about when it comes to the embroidery, okay, and this is not a bad thing, okay, is the customers. Okay, customers can be very, very, very demanding when it comes to embroidery work, and they can also be very cheap. Okay, when it comes to paying for the work. All right, I'm telling you how it is. Okay, I'm telling you the truth. They want the world, but they don't want to pay for it. Okay. Now, you will have some customers that do understand the process. They do know that it takes a long time. They do understand the skill level that you have to have in order to make things happen for them. Those are the customers that I love because I know I'm not going to have a problem with them. I know that when they ask for something, they know that I'm going to come through for them. And I also know that they're going to pay my value. They are not going to try to take advantage of me or anything. But customers can be very difficult to handle, especially those that really don't understand the process. Okay. And if you are new to this game and you are embroidering, you're quickly going to learn that real quickly, and this is the thing that I see a lot of people do by mistake. Okay. They start to embroider, they start to sell, and they underprice. And because they don't have that confidence. Okay. It's like that level of confidence hasn't been built yet. Okay. So they'll just come out and they'll just go, okay, I'll sell it for like $10. Meanwhile, that thing should have sold for like $20, $25. All right. But you will, because you want to make the sale and because you're really uncertain about yourself, and you're also afraid that the customer may come on and go, oh my God, that's a lot of money. You don't want to hear that. So you'll underprice it. You are truly harming yourself when you do that because this is what's going to happen. Trust me, customers, they kind of know. They know that embroidery is not cheap. Okay. It's a lot that goes into embroidery. A lot of thread, a lot of bobbin thread, stabilizer, the machinery, the skill set, and everything like that. They know. Okay. So people will actually search as soon as they find out, oh, you're doing embroidery. Oh, you just started. Let me tell you, they will come out of the woodwork. They will come out of the woodwork so that they will try to take advantage. Be very careful of that. A lot of people don't tell you that. They just say, oh, start a business is great. But they won't tell you that you really, really, really got to be careful about the customers that you select to offer your services to. And I don't know if you guys caught that. I said the customers that you select. You select those customers, okay? Because this is how I see it. I will not allow a customer to step up to me and tell me that I'm going to embroider something for like a price that I know is way under. No, I have absolutely no problem letting people know that they need to find someone else to do their order for them. Okay. I know my value. I know my worth. I know how good I am. Okay. There is absolutely no reason for me to be undercut. Now, you want cheap? You can get cheap. Go to someone else and you don't know what you're going to get. But that's between you and them. I know right here, no. Because to me, it's a waste of time. And I want you guys to think about this, okay? Let's say you take an order and you're being undercut. So you're working on this order. You made no money. Well, guess what? Not only did you not make money, but I want you guys to think about this. You spent your whole time working on an order that was not even profitable for you. That's that time you've lost. It's lost time. You can't get it back. But you know what you could have been doing? You could have been working on another design for your shop that probably could have been more profitable. You could have been taking that time to sharpen your own skill set, doing something, trying a new technique or something like that that you wanted to try. That to me would have been more valuable than for you to have taken your time, do some embroidery job for someone that didn't even appreciate it. Just think about that, okay? Just think about it. You don't have to take every order that comes your way, okay? And you don't have to negotiate your prices. You don't. This is your business. You run it, okay? You call the shots. You're the boss. You own it, okay? They can't tell you. If they say, well, I could get it somewhere cheaper, tell them to go there. Let them go there. Let them pay the cheaper price. But the thing is, they're not using you. And that's just really how I feel about it. I mean, some people may disagree with me. Some people say, well, when you're starting out, you want to get your name out there and stuff like that. Well, you know what? If that's the case, then this is an idea that I give you, okay? If this is because you want people out there to see what your work is, what I would do is, let's say, I'll give you an example. Let's say there's a restaurant, or I don't know, let's say a school or a church or something, right? An organization that you want to do embroidery for. You take their logo, you digitize it, you embroider it on a patch, put it on a shirt, whatever. Take the shirt, the item, take it to the president of the organization or whatever with your business card and say, hi, my name's Jeanette. I have an embroidery business, and I just want to give you this as a gift, and just so you know that I can do your logo for you if you ever need it. And here's my business card. I would prefer to do that. You know why? Because then it serves two things. First of all, I'm getting my name out there. Then they see an actual sample of the work I could do for them. And they also see that it's quality work. And then when they call me and say, Jeanette, I need 30 shirts. And I was go, oh, okay, 30 shirts like the logo that I did for you as a sample. And they say, yeah. And I go, okay, well, the cost would be this much. Bang. That's it. That way, I don't feel gypped. I wasn't gypped. Okay? Nobody lowballed me. I gave it to them as a gift. Okay? And remember, too, those are tax write-offs. You create a sample or whatever, you write them off in your taxes. Okay? So, I would prefer to do that than to do it the other way. This is the other thing about the other way. I want you guys to think about this, okay? So they came up to me. They say, hey, I want you to do one shirt. So, how much will you charge me for it? So I come out and I look at it and I go, okay. And I don't want to charge them too much because I'm new and I don't feel so confident, whatever, okay? I say, okay, it's $15 a shirt. Meanwhile, that shirt was that patch was $30,000. I mean, $30,000. Oh my God, could you imagine that? 30,000 stitches, and it took me an hour on that machine. So let's say I tell them $15, okay, and I make that one. Well, guess what's gonna happen? They're gonna be like, oh shit, she only charged $15. That's it? Oh my goodness, here, give her 30 shirts. And you know what they're gonna expect? They're going to expect you to do 30 shirts at $15. Are you going to feel good knowing that that shirt took an hour on your machine to do, and that you use all that thread and material, and you're not even making any extra money on any of those shirts? Do you see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because they're going to come out and say, well, you charge $15. Why is it all of a sudden $30 now? Do you know what I'm saying? And we're buying by bulk, so we should get a discount. So instead of $15, I think it should be $10 a shirt because we're giving you a bulk order. I've seen it all. I've seen it all. So to me, it's like you have to always make sure you're in control. You always have to make sure you're in control. If not, trust me, your customers will run the business for you. Okay. And then you're just going to get frustrated and you're going to be pissed off and you're going to be like, this isn't for me. Because what's going to happen is you're always going to be in the red. You're never going to get out into the green. You're not going to make a profit and stuff like that because you're letting everybody else dictate how things should be. So I'm just saying, handling customers, very, very, very difficult. It can be difficult. I will say, I had very, very few customers like that. Very, very few. And the relationship didn't last long because you know me. If you guys watch me, you know me. Conversation probably ended at 15 minutes. And no order. And I didn't sweat it because I'm fine. The customers that I usually have, I love them all. They're very respectful. I feel that they respect me. They respect what I do. They know the process. I have no problem explaining it to them. They respect my prices. And it's good, But you have to always, I got another sale. Okay, so, always keep that in mind, okay, when you're dealing with customers and stuff. You're the ones that run your business. They don't run it. You do and stuff. And oh my God, and you know what it is? Because Mother's Day's coming and stuff. So I have like a whole bunch of orders that came in. Yeah. Okay, so I guess it'll be a long night tonight. Okay, that's fine. Well, I can do it tomorrow morning. I'll be fine because I'm pretty caught up. Yeah, I think I'm caught up and stuff. So, to me, I just have to tell you, I didn't want this video to be negative. So it's like, I want to tell you the tough things that are involved in running a business. There's a lot of things. The thing is, I don't want people to think that it's an easy thing. It really, truly isn't. There's a lot of planning, a lot of organization. A lot of time goes into it. You're going to have some failures along the way. There's going to be times when you're going to be like, why am I doing this for? But you got to keep at it. It is not something that's very simple. It doesn't happen overnight. Anybody that you talk to, even, I'm looking at Marlena right here now that she's, she's on the chat and stuff. She does flea market, and I don't know if you have seen her posts on Facebook, and I'm going to tell you something. My mother-in-law has a flea market in South Carolina. She has like a little corner lot and stuff. And that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work. She has to, during the week, she's going out there, she's buying products. And then, on the weekends, she has to put them on her stand. And I'm sure Marlene has to do the same thing, whenever she does her craft shows and everything. You got to prepare all your products. You got to know how you're going to display them. She's got to take them all. She's got to put them in her car. She has to take them to the site. Then she has to set up. And then think about it. It's like, then you got to watch the customers. You got to be attentive to them. You got to make sure you answer all the questions. Rig up the orders and all that kind of stuff. See, and then you got to monitor what's selling, what's not selling. What should you make more of? What should you make less of? If someone wants to take a custom order, then you have to take all the details there. You know what I'm saying? And then when the show is done, okay, then you got to pack everything up. You got to put everything in your car. You got to take it home and unload. It's a lot of work. People really don't realize that. To me, I don't have to do all that because I really don't do the shows. I don't do that. All I do is I do everything at home. But I'm going to tell you something, like, I have to keep my room organized. I am not a messy worker, okay? I don't like working and not knowing where my things are. Everything has a place. I make sure that when I'm using it, I put it back in its place. When I buy new products, I have to keep reorganizing everything. I have to go through stuff and everything. It's hard. It's really, really hard. And, it's not an easy thing, So I am telling you, if you are, and I don't mean to say it mean like, oh, you're lazy or whatever, but if you don't have it in you, if you don't have that extra energy to do this as a second job, it's hard. I am telling you, it is hard. There are lots of times that I'm very, very exhausted. Sometimes I look at my husband and I will say I'm a little jealous because he doesn't have a side hustle, right? So it's like he just works. And then when he works, he shuts down that laptop and he goes in the backyard and he watches TV and he smokes his cigar and has his drink and he is relaxed. So while he's out there relaxed, here I am up here running these machines, working on these orders, doing all the business stuff, the admin stuff, running to the post office, coming back, because sometimes I will say we're working all the stuff. Sometimes I do forget to schedule the pickup. And when I forget to schedule the pickup, guess what? I am the pickup. That means I have to take the stuff and drive it to the post office. Okay. So it's a lot. It's a lot of work. And I do things on my own. I don't have help. I don't have, my husband doesn't help me, because this isn't really his thing. My son is not here, so he can't help me either. Mello just looks at me, and, kind of like, okay, just stares. Okay. So, it's kind of hard. Where is Mello? Okay. I think Mello went in the other room. Okay. So, it's a lot of work. So all I'm saying is it's not, if you don't have that energy that to keep going and going even when things are rough, maybe this is not something that, or maybe the time, it's just the time's not now for you. You know what I'm saying? But it's a big expense. That's something that a lot of people don't even tell you up front, that you're going to be spending money from the very beginning. You're not going to see a profit for a while. These machines are like buying a car, okay? They are not cheap. Even the flatbeds are not cheap, okay? When you look at the Luminaire, it's expensive. I went to Susie's clothes shop. I think it was Thursday, and I had to go because I had to get some thread. And I saw two ladies there, and they were working on a baby onesies, and they were actually using the Luminaire. And I was standing next to it, and I was watching them, and I was talking to them, and all that kind of stuff. But I got to tell you, that is like that's the Tesla of flatbed machines. I mean, I was just like, and I really wanted to try it out, but I don't want to touch it because how I don't know it. Sometimes I feel like I have a problem with machines. Like I feel like if I touch it, I want it. So I don't touch the machines on purpose. I was just helping them guide it, and I'm telling them how to hold the onesie so they can embroider it. But it's just like, oh my God, that was like the Cadillac of it was just gorgeous, gorgeous machine. So I don't know if any of you guys out there have that machine, but wow, it was pretty. Okay. But these machines are expensive. They're very, very expensive. People don't say that in the beginning. They just think, oh, you just buy a little machine, you'll be okay. You can do that. I've known people that have the small machines, that are like under, well, now they're not even under $1,000 because the SC1900 is like 1,500 now. But you get a machine like that, and you can use them to baby onesies, and you can start a business like that. But it's the best. I have one. I'm jealous. I'm jealous. Needlepoint. I'm telling you, I see that machine and I'm like, oh, wow. I just like, woo. But and then the owner of the shop says, sit, play with it, and I'm like, no. I'm like, I know me. I'm like, no, I can't do that because I'm not going to get rid of my brother SC1900. I love my SC1900, and I like it too because I still want to do more videos on it, because that is the machine that a lot of people start with. And the whole goal why I built this channel is, I know I've expanded it and now I do multi-needle, but I still want to do more single needle because everyone starts somewhere, right? So I want the channel to be where everyone can benefit from it. Those that have multi-needle machines and those that have single needle machines. I don't want this channel to be something where I have grown to a certain point where, then now if you're someone that's just joined and is just trying to learn, that you can't benefit from it. So I really like the, having both machines, but I'm not getting rid of the SC1900. I really truly do love my machine. And you guys saw the last video that I did on that machine. I used the SC1900 on a riser because someone had bought a tote bag that I had to put the initials on. So look at that. I could not even do that tote bag on a multi-tool machine. I had to use my SC1900 on a riser, and it worked perfect. And I will tell you, I was sweating on that one too, because the material of that bag was not fabric. It was like paper. So if you pop the hole, that hole was permanent. So you couldn't make a mistake. But it worked out, and I loved it. I loved the way it came out. Customer was happy. I was happy. I was like, oh, so it came out really good. So guys, I hope you like today's topic and stuff. And as always, I always like to do the first hour where I like to share the topic of the week of what I wanted to talk to you guys about. And then the rest of the night, I usually just like going through the chat and saying hi to everybody and answering questions and stuff like that, and even sharing, some of your own personal experiences with the group and stuff. So let me go scroll all the way to the top of the chat so I can say hi to everybody. Uh-oh, did I lose my chat? There it is. Okay, I hit a button and then it disappeared. All right, so I see Arlene. How are you? I see Marlene, Arlene, Marlene, Sandra, Tina, Faith, Sassy, Barbara, Christine, Robbie, Becky, I think about you every day. Every time I use that I have it right there. And I every day I pull that bag that you made me for Christmas. I will always treasure that bag. I'm telling you. It's like, oh, I just love it. So every time I see you, I'm always like, oh my God, that bag you made me. Hey, Jenny, how are you? Hey, Veronica, how you doing? Hey, Deborah, how are you doing? Cynthia, how are you? I see Karen, Rob, Marsha. Hey, Nancy, how you doing? Hey, Alice. Hey, Crafty Puerto Rican, how are you? So creative, how are you? Let's see. I see Mako, M-A-K. I don't know how to say your name, so I'm going to put you on. Hi. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Oh, from Long Island. I'm originally from New York City. I grew up in Rosedale, Queens. Actually, New York City, Manhattan, and then from there we went to Rosedale, Queens. Let's see. Hey, Margot, how are you? Okay, I see people having, hey, pretty eyes, how you doing? Pretty eyes, I sometimes think about you too, because I know I think you live somewhere near my mom and stuff. One day, we're going to have to get together when I go to Florida and stuff. We definitely have to get together. Oh, thank you so much for the super chat. Thanks, Needlepoint. I appreciate the super sticker. Thank you so much. And so, hey, Kim Cass, how are you? And I know you sent me an email, Kim, and I haven't had a chance to respond. I'm sorry. And so, yeah, Marcia says, oh my God, you be at work that early. Work down the street from home. Yeah, Marcia, I do. I work 5 a.m. I am there. I get off at 3. It takes me a whole hour to get to the office. Start at 5. Get off around 3. Don't get home till like 4:30. And yeah, and then poof, right to these machines and work here. Yeah, so yeah, I have no time, no break. No break. Let's see what else to see. Oh, somebody. Oh, Iris, this will be the first Mother's Day without my mom. Oh, Iris, I'm sorry. That's gonna be rough. Uh, it really, it sucks when you lose a parent. It really does. It's hard. For those of you guys that don't know, me and my sister lost our dad last year, and it's still hard. It really is. It's like, mm, it's hard. So I just am thinking about you. Um, Needle points at Colorado. I heard Colorado's beautiful too. The mountains and stuff. That's what I've heard and stuff. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, let's see. MC Custom. Hey Barb, how you doing? I have set shop hours Monday through Friday. Weekends I am closed. Or production is scheduled. I don't answer emails or texts after certain time on weekends. Yeah, see, Barb, see, the thing is, because it's a side hustle, because it kind of, I will be able to do that when I retire. When I retire, I know that this is all going to change for me. I know it for the simple fact that I can probably be more like you, Barb, where I can have my set hours and I can be more comfortable in doing the orders. The issues that I have though is because I don't have that availability during the bulk of the day, that when I come home, that is when I have to focus on this job. So, yeah, so it can get pretty tough. Let's just say that. It can be really, really tough. Hey Judy, how you doing? Hey Sassy, how are you? Let's see. I'm going down. Thanks, Karen. I'm glad that you like this hour and stuff. I actually, to be honest though, when I meet with you guys this time, which is, I think that's why I'm so religious at, I'm like, hey, I'll just talk to you guys about whatever topic on a Friday at 8, because this is like my time. It's like, it's me like reflecting on what I do with embroidery, how I'm feeling about it, what I'm learning, and stuff, so that you guys can, just just share this with you guys. And this is really a time for me to just, you know kind of unwind, shut down the machines, and just have a moment. So that's why I really do kind of like this, because it works for me, because it can get crazy. So it's like through the whole week, I'm like going to work and then coming home and then doing this. Go to sleep, up, work, come home, do this, up, work, home. So Fridays is like, okay, come home, work, stop at 8 o'clock. I got some friends that I need to hang out, you know? So it's my time to just be with you guys, because I know we all share the same interests, and we all like, I just feel like we support each other. And yeah, so that's why I don't like missing my Fridays. I like to religiously hang out with you guys on Fridays and just talk about what's on my mind and what I'm learning, what's going, and about my journey and stuff. And I really hope that, and I think you guys seem to enjoy it, and and I hope you guys learn from it as well and stuff. Yeah. So okay. So I don't know if you guys noticed before, in the beginning, when I was talking about how I embroidered the dog. This is what I did for a customer of mine. And just so that you guys know too, this dog is actually a celebrity. Okay. This dog is ranked number 1 in the world. Okay, just won the title. Um, Very famous. Has is does very well in competition, and I know the owners of the dog. So he just got his ribbon and first place. First place. Beautiful dog. Beautiful, beautiful dog. And that's why she is working on, and let me see if I can pull up a picture that she has sent me so that you guys can see um what he actually looked like at one of the competitions. Um, this is him. Oh, I think there's a glare, but is there a glare? I think there is. Hold on. I'm gonna see if I can see if you guys can see. But this is him at competing, and beautiful, beautiful dog. He is 7 years old, and just gorge dog. But yeah, so it's a little celebrity dog that I do all of their embroidery for the company. So and I do, there been times when they come and they actually bring the dog, and I just love it. It's like a big treat. But yes, you did guess the brief. The breed is a Afghan hound and stuff. Beautiful dog. But I used throughout the whole design. Um, this is supposed to be a logo, but the thing is, it kind of breaks the rule for a logo because I can't go any smaller on the design, because if I do, then we're gonna lose some more of the details. So let me see if I have a ruler and I can tell you exactly how far we've gone with this one. This one is okay, so this is a 3 inch, is 3 inches tall, and we have these glares and stuff because all these lighting. Okay, so this is 3 inches tall and it's 5 inches across. Okay, so usually the rule of thumb for left side logos is usually supposed to be like 3 inches by 3 inches, right? So, but the thing is, if I make him a little bit smaller, it's just not going to work. I'm going to lose a lot of the detail of the drawing, and I don't want to do that. So, yeah, so I think it came out okay for the third try. Um, and I think she's gonna like it. I think she will. I'm gonna wait for her to give me the okay before I actually put it on the clothing. She bought over 2 samples of clothing, but I want to make sure that she's happy with this final design. I had Fazil work on it a little bit with me. We made a couple of modifications to the head because we want, he is a champion dog. So because he's a champion dog, the logo has to make sure that it reflects all the details of the dog. So you can't, because there's certain imperfections of a dog that won't make it, right? So you have to pay attention to the way the head is shaped and all that stuff. So she's very, very particular, which she should be, because the thing is that logo is supposed to be a reflection of him. So it's got to be a perfect logo. So it's been taking a little while to get it perfected. I'm sure that once we have it down packed, it'll be fine. Then I have to just get ready to mass produce, because I know it's going to be probably on certain shirts and stuff. And then I'm also going to probably be working most likely on, they talked about some chairs and all that, towels and all the good stuff. So it's gonna be a big thing. So so I'm excited, for them and stuff. So and I'm really excited for the opportunity, and I felt really blessed that she picked me because I've worked with her to on other projects, for her company. But when it, when he won the title and stuff like that, and she was like, "Oh no, I already know who I want to work on my stuff," which I was just like, "Oh wow," I felt really honored. So that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. So it's like I said, quality matters. Quality matters a lot because that's what happens. If you really work hard and you make sure that everything that walks out that door is top-notch quality, people notice it, people remember it, and they respect it. And then what happens is when you have there's other opportunities that come about, and people come on and say, "Oh, I I know who I want to work on my stuff," and it's because she knows how I work. She knows what's going to come out of it and stuff like that. And she even like talks to me about, "Oh, thank you so much, uh Rita, for this." Thank you, I appreciate that. So it feels good. It feels really good when you have people that you've worked for in the past, you did good quality work, and they appreciate that. Trust me. That's why, one of the things that, I always tell people is like, don't rush to make that first sale. I really feel that's a mistake that a lot of people make, rushing to make that first sale. Because the thing is, you got to build that skill. Okay. Anybody can turn on a machine and anybody can put thread on there. But do you know how to master the machine? And when I mean master it, it's not everything has to be run on top speed. Not everything should be run on top speed. Not everything needs cutaway stabilizer. Not everything needs, no show mesh, and vice versa, right? So when I mean mastering your skill, I'm talking about knowing when you should be speeding up the machine, when you should be slowing down the machine, knowing what you should be using with what, knowing about the different needles. That's a skill. That's something that comes with experience and a lot of mistakes. Okay. I mean, you know, you have to work on it because that is what people's going to notice it. And that's what's going to set you apart from the others. Okay. I'm serious. Anybody can, you want a name on a blanket? Okay, fine. A dozen people can put a name on a blanket, but are they going to be able to provide quality? Okay. Are they not everybody can look at a blanket and say, "Oh, okay, I can put a name on it, but you know what? You should really think about doing knockdown stitches." Or maybe what you should be doing this or that, and providing options to a customer. Not everybody can do that. Okay, some people will take an item and they'll just go ahead and say, "Oh, you want a name? Okay." They'll put the name on and they give it right back, and they don't even think about how is that item going to be used. Is it going to be washed? How often is it going to be washed? Is it something that's going to be durable, that's going to last the life of the item? There's a lot of people that don't think that way. Okay, so that you have to think about what's going to set you apart from the others. And to me, it's about the quality of the work. So it's like, I feel honored, really, honestly, when I have customers that I have done work for them before, and they know people. Oh, thank you so much. The soup. Oh, thanks, so creative. I appreciate it. Um, you know, and it's like you do work for people, right? And the thing is, I've worked for them, and when they have another project, your quality work is so top notch. And I'm telling you this because I'm telling you from experience. When it is top notch and they have another project, people may come to them and say, "Hey, I know an embroiderer for you," or "I know whatever." I have customers that they themselves tell me, "Nope, I got my girl. I know her. I know how she works, and I know what I'm going to get at the end of the day." Okay. I mean, they will not. They're like, "Nope, I know who to go to. I know who does the good quality work. I know who's going to take care of me. Okay. And it's not just about also the product of embroidering it, also. It's about how you care for their items too. Like last live, we talked a little bit about shipping, right? And when I talked about shipping, I talked about how you present items, right? Because that, especially when you're doing online orders, because that's the first time, hey, Mello, that's the first time that a customer actually physically sees your product, right? So presentation is everything. So just like you want to go ahead and you want to do the embroidery and you want it to be perfect for them, okay? You also want to make sure that the presentation is just fine. The way you hand it to them, okay? So like when she gives me the okay for this, okay, and I go and I start embroidering because she gave me two shirts. She gave me a gray and a black. And when I start to embroider on this, you best believe she's not going to get it like this. I'm going to embroider it. I'm going to make sure that there's no lint or anything on her sweaters. I'm going to fold them nicely. I'm going to have them in plastic bags for her. You know, I mean, beautifully presented. Okay. And people remember that. And they remember it because they're like, not only is she good, she works good. I mean, it's like they know what they're going to get. Okay. You know, you don't want to be, you don't want to be known as having sloppy work. You don't want to be known as you just don't. Reputation means everything. So, that's why, when people say, hey, I want to start a side hustle and I want to start a business and all that kind of stuff and everything, I think that's great. And I encourage everyone to do it if that's something that you really want. But the thing that I tell you is it's hard work if you want to do it well. Okay. It takes practice. It's not something that happens overnight. It's something you got to work at. So please consider that, make sure that you understand that. And don't get frustrated. Don't get frustrated if it takes a month. Okay. I know people that have had an Etsy shop and they had the shop there and it took a whole month to make a sale. Okay. It took a whole month just to make one sale. And they wanted to just close shop and everything. Okay. There have been times that I haven't gotten a sale in a week. That's happened. Okay. I mean, it comes in time. Just relax. You're gonna do fine. What's important is that you don't quit. Don't quit. Okay? Because if you quit, then yeah, you're not gonna you're definitely not gonna make it that because you quit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So let me see. Let's see. Oh yes. Oh, 79 people watching. Yeah, give me that thumbs up if you like today's episode and stuff. That is beautiful. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, a needlepoint. Oh my god. I hope I did answer your question. Yes. It's a set. I used a 7511 needle, okay, ballpoint, okay, because it's gonna be on clothes. So I don't ever use sharp on clothing, on stretch, stretch fabric. Don't use sharp. Sharp needles, what sharp needles do is they will cut right through your fabric. Okay, you don't want that. Okay, so you always want to use ballpoint when you're using stretchy fabric. Okay, you use the sharp needles if you're using baseball hats, stuff like that. You're embroidering that kind of stuff. That stuff you can go ahead and you can use a sharp. But I use the 7511 and I use 40 weight thread through the entire design because the details on this. Now, I will say I was thinking about changing the black thread to a 60 weight thread, right? Because I was thinking maybe that'll make the details pop a little bit. But the more I look at it, I think the 40 weight is perfect. It doesn't need any more popping out. I think it's perfect. I think it did pretty good. So yeah, so I'm excited about this stitch out. I think this is going to do well. And I just got to get, like I said, I got to get the approval I don't know if she'll probably want one more test stitch. And if she does, okay, that's fine. But but I think I think she's gonna be pretty excited about it. Great stuff. Yeah, thank you. And this actually took 45 minutes. 45 minutes just to stitch this out. Yeah, 45 minutes and stuff. It's a beautiful design. It really is. Um, let's see. Let's see. Always over us estimate the time. Yes, and that's what I do. I always like to do that because that way when you deliver the product earlier, it impresses the customer. And you never know if something happens and you need that extra time. That's the other thing. Okay. What if something happens at home? You got some little emergency, you got to run out or something like that, or your day job calls you and says, "Hey, Jeanette, I need you to pull a report or something like that." And I'm like, well, it pulls me away because I can't do two jobs at the same time. I can't. I have to work on one or the other. So in the morning, I'm dedicated to my day job. And then in the afternoon is once I close that laptop, I open up the other laptop and then I'm working on here. So yeah, so it's I can't do both at once because I would screw up. I would mess up color changes and all that kind of stuff and everything because I can only focus on one thing at a time. Right, Mello? Poor Mello. Let's see. Question. I've been traveling to find something washable, permanent tape to put on garments in a nursing home. Washable, permanent tape. Okay. To put names on garments in a nursing home. I don't know what I would do. Honestly, though, Marsha, I would just embroider the name right on the garment itself. I don't know what you mean by washable permanent tape. Trying to find something washable permanent tape to put the name on garments in a nursing home. Unless you're talking about like patches, if you're talking about patches, you can do the heat and bond. But one of the things that I always recommend, even when you're doing patches, guys, I use the heat and bond. I actually did a patch on a blanket today for a child. I wanted to do the video, but the thing is, the patch had the child's name on it, so I didn't want to put like the name on the video and stuff. So yeah, I figured I'll probably just redo a project like that and make a patch with my name because I don't mind my name being out there. But you know, and if you do a patch, okay, and you have the adhesive behind the patch and you iron it on, I always, me personally, I don't just iron the patch on, I sew it on too. And I sew the edges. And there's a reason why I do that. The reason why I do it is because even though they have like the permanent heat and bond, I don't know how permanent that heat and bond could be after like 20, 25 washes, right? So I need something that's going to be like permanent forever. And the only way to be sure of that is to not just use the adhesive, but also to sew it down. Because if I sew the patch down, I know that it's really, truly not going to go anywhere. So I don't know if that's something that, you know, that you may want to do, Marsha. What brand of needle do you use for, or I use the organ. Yeah, I use organ here. Tina, I'll show you. Um, for 65 here. Okay, I have them right here. This is what I use the organ ones. Okay, and then this is the size, the 65.9. That's what I use. Okay, and then for the 7511 organ needles again, and then there you go. This is the one that I use. Okay, I use that on my multi needle machines, and I also use it on my single needle machine. And then I use organ needles really for everything, actually. I kind of like these needles. And I do buy them in bulk. I have to buy them in bulk because I have so many machines, and you have to change the needles on the machines, because if you don't, then that can mess up your embroidery as well. That is something that I tell people. You have to invest in your needles and change them, because that does mess up the design of the embroidery. The needles get dull, it makes the hole bigger, and trust me, you'll see a difference. You will see it. um let's see. um Trying to see what else. I can't wait to get another order. And that is true, what Marlene says. Oh, can't wait to get another order done. Immediately, very satisfied. It is satisfying. I will, I didn't want to just like say, hey, embroidery is like, it's terrible, whatever. You do have some satisfaction out of it. And I will tell you this. One thing that I do like is seeing the customer's face when they're happy about it, especially when they want custom embroidery work done. For the simple fact that it means a lot to them. Okay, it's special, and it feels good to be able to help someone have that special moment where they can have it and they see it and stuff like that. I don't know. It's just weird to explain. It's just something that I do like to do. I like helping people, and when they ask for like a kitchen towel and they want it to be personalized or something like that, I have no problem helping them out with that. I think it's cool and awesome and stuff like that. So I don't know. It's just me. Oh my! I had to take a course on QuickBooks on how to build my. Trust me, Marlene. Nancy helps me with mine. It's a lot. It really is a lot, and that's the other thing too. That's why I tell people, take your time when you're going into creating a business, because there is a lot of things that you have to learn, about running it. So it is. Um, Investing on the embroidery, the business administration side. Yes. And you have to. You have to. Let's see. Ah, looks like mom's been doing good. Mom's going places, huh, Nancy? I definitely am gonna have to call my sister, because I do wanna see if I can get my mom to visit me. Because I kind of miss her, so I would like to have her here and stuff. So I'm gonna see if I can probably fly her here maybe next month or something. That's what I want to try to do. Let me see. Let's see. Oh, and there you go. Needlepoint. Every successful business has a good support group. They keep you on track and grounded. You know what? Thanks for putting that out there. And that's something that, yeah, I want to do that. There are a lot of business support groups around here where I live. The thing is, I don't have the time to attend any of them, because I'm working during the day and then I come here and then I have to do this, right? But I know that once the 2 years are up and I'm retired and stuff like that, I am going to have more flexibility time. And exactly what Needlepoint is saying right there, to have a good support group, they have those. Okay. So if there is one in your area, I would recommend, because I know I want to join the one by me. It's just that I don't have that flexibility or that time. But when I retire, I definitely plan on doing that. And that is a very good place to network. Okay. And show them and say, hey, I have an embroidery business. This is what I do. This is how I want to grow and stuff. And you can get ideas from them on how to grow your business. And not only that, you can probably grow your business just being there also, because you're in a business support group. So they have businesses, they need shirts, They they need things embroidered too. And because you're part of their group, they may come on and go, "Hey, Jeanette, my company needs some new shirts made. Could you do them?" Perfect opportunity. Okay, so thank you, Nina, for point for putting that out there. That is something definitely worth mentioning because it's something that a lot of people can you know can get. I consider this group an amazing support group. Well, yeah, and you know what, Mike? You're right. I mean, because that's what we are all about, right? We're all, most of us that watch, either we're watching because we're doing embroidery as a hobby, or we're watching it because we're also doing it as like a side business or a little, thing on the side, and we like to share ideas, right? But yeah, but absolutely, you have to go for that support and stuff. And I think my husband's a great supporter. He doesn't see the mistakes, but I know they are there. I'm telling you, your friends and family, you cannot ask them, how does this look? Because I know when I show this to Fred, okay, and for those of you guys don't know, my husband, he's visually impaired. He only has vision in one eye. So he doesn't have like because he doesn't have two eyes. I mean he has two eyes. It's just that one doesn't work. He's legally blind in one eye and he only sees out of one. So he doesn't have that 3D effect. And what's so bad, you guys are gonna kind of crack up. I remember when I went and I bought a TV, right? And I bought the TV that's in the living room downstairs. And the TV downstairs has like 3D capability, right? And it came with 3D glasses, right? So I bought the TV and then I bought 3 of the glasses, right? So when the TV came and we were watching, I think it was Altair or something, and it was a 3D thing. And me and Cardio had the glasses on and we're watching it. We were like, oh, because you can see like the fish and everything were like 3D. They looked like they were coming at you and stuff. And we were like, oh, and then Brad was sitting there and he wasn't doing anything. And then I was like, what's wrong? You don't like it? And then he goes, I have one eye. And I was like, ooh, I totally forgot that he doesn't have that 3D perception. So I was like, ooh, I felt so bad. But he was like, well, you guys like it. I trust you. If you say the fish is coming out, it's coming out. But I was like, oh my God, I felt like the most terrible wife when I did that. I was like, because he was like, oh, pick the TV, whatever you want and stuff. And then when I saw I had like 3D capability, I thought that would be like a cool TV to have. And we could watch 3D movies and stuff. So I got that and the glasses. Come home, they install it, and then all of a sudden he was like, really, Jeanette? And I was like, oh, I forgot. So whenever I show him my designs, everything always looks good too. Everything always looks good. He does sometimes have to like, go like this and stuff, but he never says no. And so now my girlfriend Patty though, she'll look at it, she feels it, she touches it, and she'll say, oh, what about this, that, and then I'll look at it and I'll be like, right, right. So I don't mind going to her because she's more detailed of it. But with Fred's visual challenge, being visually challenged and stuff, sometimes it's a little harder for him to actually call things out and stuff like that. So yeah. But anyway. Yeah. But yeah, so let's see. Let's go down. Let me see. 8-year-old twin grandsons tell me the truth when I ask, how does it look? And that's the other thing too. Ask children. You are right, Miss Miller. Ask children. Children are honest, okay? They have nothing to lose, okay? They are very, very, very honest. So if you got some grandkids around and stuff like that, ask them. So what do you think? They'll tell you. They will definitely tell you. Hey Joanna, how are you? Um, let's go down. Um, I was very dedicated, then life happened. Yeah. You never know. What do you do your stitch? Okay. What do you do your stitch out on? Well, one of the things that I do, Margot, is I go to like just Walmart and I'll just buy like plain fabric, okay, cotton fabric, okay, and I'll buy like a yard of white and a yard of black. And this is very cheap fabric. It's not expensive at all. Okay. It's very, it's really cheap. It really is. But I just use this as a canvas. And then what I do is I just cut like little squares, okay? And then when I stitch it out, okay, what I usually do is I'll take it out of the hoop and then I'll just cut around it. And that becomes like my sample for the customer and stuff. And I usually like to do that. Now, I do also have some stretchy, regular, cotton fabric. And the reason why I like using that to test stitch out is if I'm doing it on clothing. Now, this I didn't do it because it's on clothing, but the thing is, I looked at the clothing that I got from the customer, and I know it's going to work fine for what I have done in the past. So I'm not really worried about it. When I do go to embroider on these two shirts, I am going to put an underlining of a topper on it, even though I don't really need it because it is a very desk design, but I just want to give it a little extra lift. So what I'm going to do is I'll put the topper on top of this, because it is stretchy fabric, just to give it a little more stability. And I am planning on using 2 sheets of heavy cutaway stabilizer because the design is a little dense. So, it has it's high stitches. How much did it have? I think it had, I think the last time I looked, I can tell you right now. I think it had about maybe 20,000 stitches, something like that. Let me see. Yep, 26,000 stitches. It's 26,000 stitches. So it was because I slowed down the machine too. It took about 40 minutes for me to stitch it out. And I did stop the machine. I stopped the machine while it was running a little bit because, as it stitched, I wanted to look at it really in detail to see how it was going and stuff. Fossil did a beautiful job as always. I mean, he never lets me down. It stitched out really, really, really well. So, yeah, but yeah, just I would say if you want to do something like that, Margot, just buy the cheap fabric. Don't go buy anything expensive and stuff like that. Buy a yard of it, have it folded in a spot, and then when a customer wants to do a sample stitch, just use that. Don't use your blanks, just use that. And that's the perfect thing for you to like give to the customer so that way they can see what the embroidery going to look like. This is the other thing too. Remember when I mentioned earlier about, if you want to offer like samples of your work, do that. Do that. You don't have to buy a shirt and embroider on the shirt, okay? Because and then give them a free shirt. Because think about it, that's expensive. Because what you just did was you gave them a free shirt with the embroidery on it. Unless that's what you want to do. I'm more on the economical side. What I will do is something like this, okay? And then take it out of the hoop, cut around it, okay? Staple my business card to it and say, hey, here's a sample because they can't do anything with it, and here they have a sample they can look at, touch, feel, and know that it's good quality embroidery work, okay? So, yeah. Okay, you are a motivational speaker every Friday. Thanks, Karen. Um, Let me see, Jeanette. Did you have to install higher electrical outlet to run the 3 machines? No, I did not. I do not have them all plugged in one spot though, okay? I do have surge protectors on it, but I have 3 separate plugs for the 3 separate machines, and then I have a separate plug for my heat press. So, yeah, but if you do, you may run into issues with electricity. It depends on what your setup is at your home. But I have all 3 machines, and they all run out of 110 outlet. So I'm pretty good. I haven't had any issues and stuff. Now, I do know that I cannot have, okay, because that happened once. I had all 3, not all 3. I had 2 embroidery machines. I didn't have the third one here at the time. I had 2 embroidery machines. I had the heat press, and I had my sewing machine, and my computer's running. And we did lose electricity once, and I was just like, "Ooh, that's not good." So, but that was only one time. Never happened again. But the thing is, I'm wise enough. If I'm not using a machine, I turn it off. Yeah. So, um, let's see. What do you purchase your name tags for your business? If you are talking about the tags that I put on my products, I do have a link to my Amazon storefront, and I have that in there, and that I have the information in there for where I buy that. Let me see. Can't wait to be able to think and act like Jeanette. Oh, Molly, you're funny. Hey Rita, how are you? How you doing? Hope everything's cool. Let me see. I guess we fake it until we make it. Don't let the customers to dictate what your price should be. Absolutely. No, you don't do that. And Luminaire is the best. Somebody's got a Luminaire machine. I'm jealous, Leaderboard. I'm jealous. Your life sounds like mine. I'm retired because my hands required 6 surgeries. I'm always going nonstop. I don't understand how my retired friends are bored. Yeah. Oh, Rita says, I hate paperwork. I could never run a profitable business. I'm not disciplined enough. I wish I was. You could be, Rita. It just takes time. Just don't, it doesn't happen overnight, it just takes time, little by little, little by little. Tina says, I have the Brother Luminaire, the Jakuki, and 2 Brother Machines 10 new. I wish I could find the time to use them. You better use those machines, Miss Tina. Oh my God. Make those machines work. And Rita does mostly gifts for friends and family, etc. That's still fun. I bet you have the best Christmas gifts every year. Like today's topic. Oh, I'm glad you did. I'm glad. Oh, hey, Angela Stitches. I have an Etsy shop, but it has never really taken off. My husband calls me a cost center. Oh my God. Don't give up. It could be, and Angela, the thing is too, is that, look at what you have, okay, and try different products, change up. It could be maybe your photos, change the photos a little bit, maybe the way you're titling your listings, maybe the tags that you're using, so when people search for items, maybe that's why it's not popping up. There's just so many, things. So don't give up and stuff. You just keep messing with it and stuff, and you'll finally find that niche and stuff. Really enjoyed today's topic. Very informative. Oh, thanks, Iris. I appreciate it. Hey, Shirley. Hey, been watching your entire show. It's been helpful because I plan to jump out there and start my essay. Do it, girl. Go ahead, Miss Shirley. You can do it. You can do it. You can do, and you got that 10 needle machine too. You could rock this. You can rock it, Miss Shirley. You got this. Oh, so glad you're. Yes, and Mello loves his blanket. Becky, we have it. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna take a picture of it and put it on Facebook. He has his own chair in the living room downstairs, which was supposed to be my chair, but Mello took it. Okay, so I have to sit on the other side of the room. So on that chair is his blanket, and he loves it because he gets on that chair and he always snuggles with his blanket and stuff. So that blanket that you made for him is like everyday use, everyday use, and it is always folded nicely on his chair and stuff. I'm gonna take a picture of it and I'll put it on the Facebook group so you could see it and stuff. He loves it and love everybody that comes in sees it and they're like, oh my god, that blanket's gorgeous. And I always tell them, I go, that's from Becky. I'm telling you, I loved it. Did sign up start? No, it did not start yet. It will start soon, Rita. I don't have the dates in front of me. I did write them down. I have them in the book, but I am planning on doing the Christmas in July. Okay, and I'm going to create the gift exchange so that way people could start signing up. I'm going to give folks 2 weeks to sign up. After that, I'm going to shut it down, and then we're going to have 1 month to make the gifts, and then in July, which is probably going to be the last Friday in July, is when we're going to do a show and tell. So that's what I plan on doing and stuff. But it will be coming soon, and I'll make sure that I post it on our Facebook group. Okay, and if you don't see it, you can always reach out to me on Facebook also. Okay, so yeah, but thanks for asking and stuff. Oh my, oh, it's my tag. My name's Lisa. Thank you for saying hello. Love your channel. I Slip New York. Oh, don't know how you pull those hours. Hey, Lisa. Girl, you don't think about it. You just do it. You just do it, okay? Because you got to make that money. And so I Slip Long Island. I think I know me and Nancy, we used to live in Valley Stream, New York. And no, we didn't live in Valley Stream. We used to live in Rosedale, Queens. But you could walk from a house. It was just like a quarter of a mile, something like that. And then you would end up in Valley Stream, Long Island. And I don't know if you know, but they used to have Green Acres Mall, and we used to work at the Green Acres movie theater and stuff like that. But we're talking years ago, like 1995 and stuff like that. Oh my God, yeah, those were my New York days, you know. I loved it. Yes, pretty eyes. I mean, I am definitely going to let you know the next time I go to Florida because I think you live by my mom, so we gotta hook up. We gotta hook up because the last time I went up there, I hooked up with Iris and stuff. So, and I know you had mentioned that you know, so I'm always thinking about you every time I'm down there, and I'm like, gotta hook up with her and stuff. So I am gonna reach out to you and stuff. Hey Denise, how you doing? Oh, California. I bet you enjoy that nice weather all year round. So what you think in retail? What you think in retire? Oh, retire. I'm busier than my life. I'm looking forward to retiring. Oh, I love watching the dog shows. Yeah, I do too. Every time I watch those dog shows, then I look at Mello and I'm like, how come you don't do that? You know, that's what I do all the time. And so, thank you, Rita and So Sweet Creative for the super chats. I appreciate that and stuff. Oh, Angela is saying, I'm having issues with puckering on t-shirts. I'm using no-show mesh. The cutaway I was using seemed too thick. Okay. And you can see the stabilizer through the shirt. Any advice? It could be, Angelica, one of the things that look at the quality of the shirt that you are trying to embroider on, okay? Because we got to remember also, embroidery is a lot of thread, right? So depending on the material that you're embroidering on, I always have the philosophy that everything should be embroidered on. Or if you embroider on it, you may want to look at what it is that you are embroidering. Okay. Is the design dense? If you have a design that's very dense, a shirt that is very thin may not be a good choice because it can get puckering and stuff like that. The other thing also is like some people when they have like the graduation stalls, those are like silky, like satin, very slippery items, right? Those pucker as well. Another thing you could try is you can try to slow down the machine. Sometimes the speed of the machine can cause some type of pucker. So sometimes you want to just slow it down. That way you're not stretching the fabric too much. Okay. So, hope those tips help out. It is, it's something that you learn within time. Um, the no-show mesh, definitely, that is a yes. That's a good thing that you're using that because the no-show mesh is something that would help stabilize the shirt. The other thing too that you might want to try is using starch. Okay. Some people use that magic thing. I don't think I have it here. It's like a magic Turil kind of spray, right? Or you can just use regular starch. Like I have this starch right here. Is this it? No, this is basting stitch. Okay, hold up. This is it. But I do have starch here. Hold on. Where do I have it? There we go. A lot of folks in the military use this, okay? Good old heavy hold. Okay? This is a starch. A lot of folks that are in the military use this, okay, for their uniforms and stuff like that. So what this would do is this will make your fabric a little bit like papery, like real tight, strong. And I would say, if you're using the no-show mesh, if you're using the cutaway and stuff, try to use this starch as well. Okay, make it very, very stiff and stuff, and then you can embroider on it. But be conscientious of what it is that you are embroidering. Okay, if you have something that's very dense, like this is a dense design. Okay, this is a very dense design that I have with the dog. I would not recommend putting this on a shirt that's thin. Okay. So sometimes you really have to look at the quality of the item that you are embroidering on. Okay. And you have to, think about that. All right. So hope those things help out and stuff. Let's see. Hey Jeanette, do you have a 6 needle? Yes, I do. Is so what mighty hoop would I need to order? I have a new machine coming next week. Oh my God. Well, congratulations. I have a 6 needle and I also have 2 of the 10 needles. You're going to love your 6 needle because I still use my 6 needle. Okay. What I really love about the 6 needle is the laser pointer because that light shows you exactly where that needle is going to hit. You're going to love that functionality. So as for the mighty hoop, okay. Yes, I do have mighty hoops for that. One of the things that I recommend is if you go to the video, in the video description, I do have the link for the mighty hoop. Okay, they revamped their website, and on the website you can actually select Brother 6 needle machine, and it'll show you which ones they have available for them. Let me tell you the popular ones that I think you're gonna that are really great for you to start off with. Okay, I would get a five and a that's a 6x6. I would get the five, yeah, the 5 1/4, okay, the 5x5, okay, because that's going to be great for you to do logos, okay. Then also I would recommend getting an 8x9 because the 8x9 is just a little bit bigger, and then I would get the max size, which I believe is an 8x12 or 8x13, something like that. I would start off with those three, and then as time goes on, you go and you get the other hoops that you want. But those are really the three popular sizes that you're going to use a lot. especially the 5x5. Not, I mean the five, yeah, the 5.25 by 5.25, something like that. Now, if you can afford it, because you just got your machine, and Diane, I probably already know you're probably like, oh my God, I spent all this money, right? And then, I believe, been there, done that, okay? If you can't afford it, one of the things that I would highly recommend that you do is that you actually get a Mighty Hoop uh, hooping station, the one where you can hoop the shirts, okay? Where it comes with this piece that you put on top of the thing. So, and this is for the 5x5, so you can do your logos, okay? Because you're gonna end up finding out that that's gonna make life a lot easier for you, Diane, because you're gonna be able to hoop your shirts for logos and all that kind of stuff. And if you're anything like me, you already spent a pretty penny on that machine. So what you want to do is you want to start like trying to make some money so you can pay that machine off or get that money back. You know what I'm saying? Because thank goodness I'm already at the point now where the machines are all paid off and they pay for themselves. So now, it's like, because it can get a lot. But congratulations on your machine, and I know you're gonna love it. And if you need anything, please just reach out on the Facebook group, because folks in the Facebook group have the 6 needle, the 10 needle, and they even have the Racoma, the Melco, and all these other machines and stuff like that. So, but enjoy your machine. That's the most important part and stuff. Hey Brenda, I need 2 blankets. If you have them, I'll order after the right. Yeah, I do. I have them, Brenda. I'll put the listing on my Etsy shop so that way you can order them and stuff. Jeanette, don't kill yourself with your schedule. I know. I can't embroider on the spot. I think the heat and bond would be comfortable on the inside of the back. Oh, I see what you're saying. You're okay. So you're actually looking for like the label. And so I have not embroidered my own labels. I haven't. You could if you want to, but I just find that it's more economical for me to just buy my own labels and stuff. That's what I usually do. For nursing home, I print on paper and then I iron them, and it washes great. I wonder that too. And I have like, now I just purchased like this paper where you can do sublimation, because I'm trying to see if I can do sublimation patches. And I'm not too sure about it, because when I look at that, I'm like, when I wash that, is that going to be durable? I'm not sure. So it's going to be interesting. I'm going to videotape it as I try it, to do the trial and error to see if this actually works, and stuff. It's a great concept, but the thing is, like I said, I like longevity, okay? And I like to be economic, because remember, the more you invest in something, and you may not get enough profit off of it and stuff like that, let's see. Going down. Hey Liliana, how are you? How you doing? If you guys don't know, this is Liliana. She's one of my favorite YouTubers. That's her YouTube channel, Embroidery Print Now. And she has been running an embroidery business for like over 25 years, over 20 years, something like that. So that's the queen right there. That is the queen of embroidery and stuff. That's who I want to be when I retire. So I'm gonna buy a ticket one day and go to Missouri to her shop, and I mean Minnesota, and I'm just gonna sit there and watch her work one day. And so wait till I retire. I'm gonna surprise her one day, show up at her business. She's gonna be like, Jeanette. But knowing her, she's gonna say, you're not sitting here watching, you gotta get to work. She'll probably put me to work. Let's see. Any more questions out there? Oh, Leslie, wow, I lived in Queens too, so stomping ground too. Yeah, I Queens. Those days, I tell you. I used to ride the E train. I used to take the bus to Jamaica Avenue, if I remember correctly. Then I used to take the E train to the N train. Then I would take the number 6 train to go to like 14th Street, something like that, to go to Brew College. Man, I don't know how I did it back in the day. Because think about it. I used to take a bus to go to the train, then take a train to catch another train, to then catch another train, to then go to school. Ain't that something? That's kind of crazy, right? Oh my God. And then you really want to think crazy too, when Carlito was little, right? I used to have to get up at like 3 o'clock in the morning to get ready and get him and bring him to daycare at 5:30 in the morning so I could start work at 6 and then get off at 3, go to the daycare, pick him up, come home, do homework and all that kind of and dinner and then go to bed at 8 so we can do it again all over the next day. It was just so weird, because I was a single mom, so it was just me and Carlito. So it was just like sometimes when me and Carlito talk about it, I'm like, how the hell did we do that? It's like we were on it. We were on a schedule. It was like, oh my God, it was like, okay, we got to get out of the house, we got to get in the car, we're going driving here, we're driving there. And then there were times when I would get off work and I would go to the daycare, pick up Carlito, and then go back to work with Carlito. And Carlito would do his homework at my job while I kept working. And then I would come home at midnight and we'd go to bed. And then we'd get up at 3 to go back to work the next day. I don't know how we did it. Oh my God. Yeah, life's a trip. And it's weird. It's just weird. But hey, but we hustled and you do it. You're it's like you do what you got to do, right? You don't think about it, you just move forward and stuff. um let's see, I think I got everything from everybody. I think I answered all your questions. If I did miss something, okay, and you really wanted me to answer your question and stuff like that, and I missed it, do me a favor. You can always go on the Facebook group and you can ask the question there, and I can try to answer it and stuff. It's just that yeah, it's kind of late and stuff, and I still have orders to do too. Well, I said I was going to do that order tomorrow morning. I'll just do it tomorrow morning when I wake up, and then that way when it's done, then I could just go to the post office. Post office doesn't close till 12 anyway, so yeah, so I'll be fine. Yeah, I'll be fine. And I'm an early riser. I'm always up at like around like automatically. I'm by 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm always up, and I think I do that because it's like I'm so used to waking up so early all the time that it's like it's an automatic thing for me. So I always end up waking up early and stuff. But guys, I hope you liked hanging out with me today. And if you do, please give me a thumbs up. If there is a topic or something that you guys want me to cover, like I remember like last week I covered shipping and shipping costs and all that kind of stuff because someone asked me to cover that. And I don't mind covering that. Like I said, to me, this channel isn't just about, it's not just what I want it to be. I want this to be your channel too. So it's like if you have topics and stuff that you want me to cover, or something that you want me to try or something like that, just let me know on Facebook or send me a message on Facebook and I'll look into it and then and I'll try to do what I can to try to help you guys out. Because chances are, if there's something that you're interested in, somebody else in our group might be interested in it as well. So, and I do like to help people and everything. So, whether you're doing this for embroidery, for a side hustle, or you're just doing it because it's something you enjoy doing and stuff, whatever the reason it is, I just want to help in any way that I possibly can. I do this right now. I do it to help my son while he's through college, and hopefully he'll be done soon. And then when he's done, I can relax a little bit more, because right now I kind of hustle. So So he's fine. But he's okay. He's okay. It's just, I just kind of like don't like too much of a financial burden. So it kind of like helps uplift it a little bit and stuff. So it's fine. It always works out. So guys, I will talk to you guys later. And like always, thank you so much for spending Friday night with me. I really enjoy our time together because this to me is like a little break from it all, from all the craziness. And I hope that you guys find value in this as well. So I will talk to you guys later. I'll see you next Friday. And, I'll have some more videos coming out pretty soon. So I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good night, everyone. And please stay safe and have fun sewing and have fun embroidering. And if you're running that business, just do your thing. Don't worry about it. Just don't give up and it'll all work out in the end. It will. All you got to do is just keep working at it. So I will talk to you guys later. Have a good night. Bye.